Welcome back. We've leaked a little bit. It's been about 2-3 days. Not enough to be worried about, so I think we've got some good rings here. This should help our compression a little bit. Clean the rings out. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump all that out, get the oil pan gasket on, and just start working on all this. I gotta clean this head off before I put it on, change the injector O-rings, scrape all this material off, clean off the head surface a little bit, and just start piecing it together one by one. Well, I guess it's about that time where I put the head on. We got our new head gasket and head bolts ready. Plenums painted up. Got the head painted up, just got it back from the machine shop. I did ended up having it resurfaced, just clean it up a bit. That's not my valve cover. My valve cover is down there. This is just one I was using to cover the inside from being painted. So I can go back up here. But I'm about to pull these towels out and lay the head on top of here. The inside of this came out so nice. Still a little bit of transmission fluid in the rings, so that's good. Help the compression. Let's get her put on. Man, that's so shiny. That looks great. Well, I meant to record what I had found before I put the cover back on. Luckily I did, but I wasn't talking. I was just using it to kind of like get a closer look at it. But I pulled this back cover off. Turns out this is an IPD VX camshaft. This car is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, I paid $1,000 for this car. The camshaft alone is $300, right? Not to mention the E-Code headlights, which are what, $400? The Euro taillights are $300. I mean, it's got the sway bars, it's got the cross member bars or whatever, the strut bars and torsion bars and this, that, and the other. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And it makes me not want to sell the car after I get done with this. But I will say, while I was driving the car, I did not notice the extra 20% increase in horsepower that the VX camshaft boasts. It says it brings it from 114 up to 136 or something like that. I didn't feel it. I mean, maybe it's because I'm used to 420 or Scotia's unknown 200-ish horsepower. So, I don't know. But the funny thing is that Scotia has the adjustable cam gear that I literally have never even touched, advanced, or retarded it. I put it on there and never did anything. And now it's making me want to put it on here just so I can play with the camshaft a little more. I mean, being an automatic, you know, to me, an automatic 240 NA is more fun to ring out and you're going around corners and stuff like that. So when you're at like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, you need all the help you can get. But I thought that was a cool find. And I had wondered why the camshafts had looked as good as it did. It never occurred to me that it was a swapped out cam. So that solves that question. Just filled her up with oil as well. Swapped out the front seals. Already did those. Not worried about those. But now I can put on the new plastic cover because the other one was broken in 2 pieces. So I got this guy. I might have to pull off the, no, I don't. It goes in something like that, but no, I do have to pull off the bottom to put pull off the crankshaft, put the bottom bit on, but I haven't even done the timing belt, so I'm gonna put this one on first. We'll get there. Well, this about wraps it up for the motor. I didn't really record any of it because I just wanted to get it done within 4 hours, just trying to hurry it up. Harness is back on. So a recap of everything I've done to the motor. I've discovered a good camshaft, VX cam. We've done rear main seal and housing gasket, rear cam cover thingy, whatever. All front main seals. What the hell? Is that there's a dragonfly stuck in my garage door opener. Oh, I can't reach. All right, you're gonna have to stay there. Anyways, new front main seals and housing gasket, water pump, head gasket, shaved the head, well, resurfaced it. Timing belt, tensioner, spring, water pump thingy there. Put some RTV on the gasket just to be safe. Snapped a bolt off in there, so we've got all of them except one. New exhaust gasket, so you know, hopefully it'll hold. We'll see. It'll probably blow out, but whatever. New alternator tensioner, because why not? All new bushings for every single accessory. New bushings there, new bushing in this guy here. AC, power steering, all inside there as well. Didn't get a new tensioner for this, forgot about that one. But we did new belts like a month ago, so those are good. I discovered that the machine shop forgot to put my spark plugs back in, the brand new NGKs that I just put in the head like last month, so I'm gonna have to put new spark plugs in it again, so that's fun, love it. New motor mounts, new oil pan gasket, new oil pump O-rings, new PCV breather box oil separator with the tube that goes down into the oil pan, new flame trap, new injector O-rings, new intake manifold gasket, throttle body gasket. Pretty much everything you can do to a 240 to completely freshen it up. You're just gonna have to stay there, brother. I'm sorry. I'm too short. Other than that, I still have to take the motor off the stand and then put the transmission on the stand because I have a full reseal kit for that. Oh, forgot to put that on. Oil filler cap gasket that can go in the parts box with all the other stuff I haven't done. Like the idle air control valve that is brand new. The brand new brake booster check valve, radiator hoses, coolant hoses, transmission mount, all new clamps, tons of shit. So I've got, what is this? Overdrive solenoid O-ring. Okay, cool. So that would go for the overdrive bypass that's in here. Right there. Already has one, so I don't know. Transmission filter, transmission pan gasket. Just to light fresh up on the trans. I'm not redoing the input and output shaft seals. Just change the pan gasket and filter and then throw the overdrive solenoid bypass on it and call it a day. And then obviously, you know, flush the fluid so it has brand new transmission fluid. But I filled this up with 1540 Rotella. And even though I cleaned the absolute hell out of the engine inside and out in the oil pan and all that, I'm gonna run this oil for maybe 100 miles, throw in a can of seafoam, and then do an oil change and just change the oil again. with some more 1540, just so I'm sure that it's a nice flush and I'm getting any remnants of whatever could be in there that may have dropped in there out of it. But other than that, I'm gonna get this thing bolted up. I should probably change this gasket because I have them in the box over there, but I know these bolts are gonna be a bitch to get off. And it wasn't leaking before, so I probably shouldn't bother it. I should leave it alone, just like that stud. Just leave it alone. But yeah, so I guess we'll pick up tomorrow when I am doing the transmission. And I still want to paint the valve cover. I think I'm gonna do a wrinkle black and then sand this so it's silver and then wrinkle black here. I'm not gonna do it like Scotia where it's a red valve cover, silver and then red. I'm gonna do something different. So we'll pick this back up tomorrow. Well, it's time to work on the transmission, and I ended up getting the new AC compressor in, so I threw that on there. Have the condenser somewhere that's gonna go in once the motor and everything's in, and I also got a new accumulator that should be here hopefully today with the all the O-rings I'm gonna need to reseal all these ports. Luckily this came pre-filled with the PAG oil, so I ain't gotta mess with that. Hopefully just replace all the O-rings, throw it all back together, do a vacuum on it, see if it holds. If it holds, great, refill it and see if it fixes our issue. This should fix our issue because that guy wasn't cutting it down there. But I'm gonna set y'all up here on the tripod and I'm about to drain this fluid out into this guy here. And oh yeah, you can see how bad it was leaking back here. I didn't think it was that bad, but it was. Then we'll throw on our bypass unit here, throw in a new filter, and get her done. Let's get to it. How much did that go to plan? Not a lot. Couldn't tell where the hell it was coming out of. But this is why we epoxy our floors so it won't stain. I mean, look at the color of this fluid. That is the worst looking transmission fluid I have ever seen in my life. That looks like pure oil. That's crazy. Well, I'll keep sitting here until this gets done. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess as to why this was leaking. Considering these are all just hand tight. Huh. Wonder why. Don't know the torque setting on these. I'm gonna have to check it, but it's definitely not this. And I forgot to lay a bucket. So we'll lay a rag. All right, let's pull this loose pan off and see what it looks like. All right, what are we gonna find? Let it all come out the drain tube, or the fill tube, I guess. I will say that magnets picked up a lot of shit. Hope this transmission's all right. It ran fine. That's not really saying much. See how this filter looks. Go ahead and pop this out. All this cleaned up. We're still actively, what are we dripping from the vent tube now? Yeah, we are. Sweet. So we're gonna definitely have to do a flush on this trans. Well, let's get this filter off. Well, the filter itself doesn't look too bad. I can see, well, I can't tell. Looks like there's something up in here in this corner, but I don't know. Most of the gasket came off though. Got a little bit to scrape off here. Luckily, I used my little cork pumper, transmission filler, actually. Just suck it out into whatever was in here into there. But yeah, we're gonna have to clean this out pretty well. Definitely gonna have to do a major fluid flush. Fill it, let it mix, drain it, fill it back up. Maybe driving 100 miles. There's a little piece of gasket material right there I need to get. All right. That looks pretty enough to me. Clean magnet. New gasket. I believe it's like, what, 3.3 foot-pounds? So, a little bit more than the finger tight that it was. Let's see. Well, it is currently 5:30 in the morning. I had nothing better to do, so I came out here and threw the motor in the car. Got the motor mounts settled into the cross member, and now I am changing out the transmission mount before I throw it back in, because this one, it's okay, but it's got some stress cracks in it, as you can see there. So, while I have a new one, might as well throw it in. Well, the car's pretty much done. Drive shaft is hooked up. Got everything bolted in. I think I'm going to ditch the water sensor for now, just because I don't want to cut up a brand new hose. But I was just about ready to start it up. I had filled the transmission fluid up. I put a gallon in it, and I was going to start it up to let it run, put it through the gears, let the transmission pump suck in some fluid so I could add some more. And I totally forgot that the machine shop robbed me of my spark plugs. And I had just gone to O'Reilly's to get brand new vacuum line and transmission fluid. A new vacuum line for everything, new hose for the back end, all kind of stuff, and forgot the damn spark plugs. So now I gotta wait till tomorrow. But other than that, she looks great. Everything's nice and tidy. Still gotta hook up all the wiring, which I'm messing with the headlights right now, because that's the next thing on the list. But all new hoses everywhere. Looks great. I might push this one in a little bit more. But I'm working on the headlights right now just because the inner buckets have fallen out of their clips. So I'm gonna pop these clips off, pop the glass off, and try to put the inner housing back inside of its clips and give the glass a good cleaning on the inside and outside. And I guess we'll pick this back up tomorrow when it's running, because it's not gonna run tonight without any spark. Yay. Well, the headlight clips didn't go to plan. I have to order some, and they're on the way. So I ended up breaking more clips in the process, so the headlight buckets just kind of sit in there. But everything's put back together. I just filled it up with some coolant, and I'm about to do the first start. We're still gonna have to bleed the cooling system. And transmission, I filled up that quart, or that gallon jug, and then put another quart in it. So we're gonna have to roll through the gears, let the pump do its thing. Same with the power steering fluid, I filled it up. Gonna have to turn it back and forth. But I believe everything's connected. Guess there's one way to find out. Let the fuel system prime a little bit. That cover screen for the radio. give it a shot. Just trying to help it idle a little bit. It's first time. Well, it's idling by itself. Go and get that transmission pump going. That gauge is a little funky, the cooling gauge. I did not end up hooking this back up. I guess we should check for leaks, huh? I did hook up the AC compressor lines just because I don't have the Freon to do it, so I'm gonna leave the caps on the AC compressor. I don't want to hook it up with the crap that's in it. I'll wait until I have a vacuum and pull a vacuum on the whole system. I've got water in it right now, just so I can check for leaks. Yeah, just a recap on everything we've done. Oil pan gasket, oil pump O-rings, rear main seal, housing gasket and seal, all the front main seals, water pump gasket, water pump itself, new timing belt, tensioner, spring, all new hoses to everything you can see. Front and back heater hoses, new AC condenser, which I have hooked up. I haven't hooked up the new accumulator yet, just because one of the ports looks a little different. New spark plugs that I got an hour ago because the machine shop forgot to put them back in. New NGK plugs, wires, distributor cap and rotor, all new belts, new idler control valve, and all the new hoses to go to it. New vacuum lines here, new check valve on this guy, new vacuum lines to everything here, new flame trap, head gasket, discovered the VX camshaft, new thermostat. This looks like it was replaced, so I didn't bother replacing it. New transmission pan gasket and filter. Let's see how she does. Seems pretty good. Intake manifold, exhaust manifold gaskets as well, throttle body gasket. I'm sure there's other shit that I'm forgetting, but I mean, pretty much everything has been done to this engine. I don't see anything leaking as of yet. There's that old coolant thing down here. I just opted for the new hose. See, are we overheating? No, we're not. And that thermostat, man, I ended up doing the thermostat while the engine was on the hoist, and I was about to throw it back in just because I forgot to do it. And I'm glad I did, because that thermostat, when I pulled it out, I couldn't even push in on the spring. Like, it didn't open or nothing. So that's why this car ran a little hot. It would run about a tick above the halfway mark, and now we're not even touching the halfway mark. Seems to have a sticky idle. Which is weird. that's reassuring. I'm not sure what the check engine light's for. Are you gonna die again? Oh man, that made the voltmeter jump, didn't it? It's crazy. Not sure why the wipers are trying to go when I'm doing the headlights. That's interesting considering the headlights are over here, or the wipers are here. And this is the off position. That would be the intermittent position. Yeah, something's... Huh. So they stop when the high beams are on. Interesting. I don't know what I fucked up, but I fucked up something. Let's check for gears. Oh, yep. Forgot about the hump back here. I was wondering why I wasn't moving in drive. Nice. I guess that concludes the restoration on this car. I do have to clean it very badly and repolish it. That's disgusting. And I do need to go to an exhaust shop and get a muffler put on for this damn thing, because it sounds terrible. But other than that, I mean, we're not leaking anything that I can see. The front main seals, well, I mean, it's only ran for what, 5 minutes? I don't think it had enough time for the seals to even do anything. Looks nice in there. Head gasket's not mixing. Sweet. No oil in there. Sweet. I guess I'll have to do a shakedown test to see if anything actually messes up. So far, so good. I did want to do a new radiator, but it's very hard to find these aluminum ones. The plastic ones tend to leak on the edges where the cores meet. But other than that, I mean, she runs great. I'm not sure what that idle thing is. The idle air control valve's hooked up correctly. Maybe it's a mass airflow sensor issue, because that was a used map that I had laying around. So maybe that's contributing to it. And I did notice here, I don't know what this is about, the kickdown cable, if you go full throttle, sometimes this would just stay like that, slack. Now it seems to be returning itself. Interesting. How are we on the fluid? Damn near perfect. Right at the max line. Damn, I'm good. Well, that concludes this car. I guess we'll do some other stuff later. Whether that be little updates on this car or updates to Scotia, because I still need to put the adjustable wastegate actuator on there just to see if that helps fix my boost issue. But I'm gonna go ahead and push this video out and get y'all guys something to watch for an update. Hope y'all enjoy, Man, this motor looks so nice now. And surprisingly, no, there's no leak from here, so I guess I tightened it enough, even though we're missing a bolt. That's great. Sweet. All right, well, y'all enjoy.